Hello, it's Love Coach Nicole Moore here, and this is a video about why are you not attracting men that actually meet your standards. So I hear this from women all over the place. They're saying, I just can't meet a guy that I really like. I can't meet a guy that's on my level. I can't meet a guy that's meeting my standards. If you are doing the Attract the One challenge, which for those of you who don't know, I'm having a 7-day Attract the One challenge right now, where I take you through the 7 steps that I used to attract in the one. It's totally free. You can subscribe below if you're not doing the challenge. But for those of you who are, you know that today's step was all about raising your standards, all about asking for more. I instructed you to create what I call an I deserve and expect list. This is an exercise that I use. This is an exercise that I actually give my clients in my Get and Keep Your Man program. And what I tell them is, sit and write a list of everything you deserve and expect in a man. And don't be shy, just write it all. And I actually pulled up my list, and it was about 4 pages long on a computer. So I sat there and I wrote everything I deserve and expect in this man. And then I had to get real with myself. And that's what this video is about, because you know what you want in a man. So why is it not here yet? The answer has to do with something in you. So I checked the date on when I wrote this list. Actually, the last edit was July 6, 2015, but I believe I wrote that way before July 6th. So I knew what I wanted a long time before I met my man. Why? Because I wasn't willing to risk and change until meeting him became more important than anything else. And then I was willing to risk and change. So here's the deal. If you want something higher in your life, if you want a better man or a better career or more money, whatever, it's going to require you to actually give something. So you can write this list down all day long of what do you want. But what you want to ask yourself is, what am I willing to give to receive this thing? So for each of those things that I said I wanted, for example, I said, I expect him to worship me as the goddess that I am and take care of me and dote on me. So at the time, it seemed like a tall order. And what I had to give and give up was my tendency to not care for myself, because I couldn't expect that from a man until I got that from him. But why wasn't I caring for myself in the first place? That was a lifelong pattern that I learned. Because when I was a little girl, my parents, one of the things was that they didn't say they loved me. So I developed this deeply ingrained pattern of I don't care, I don't matter. And that manifested as me not actually taking care of myself. So, not doing the self-care that I needed. And so the pattern in the back of my head of I don't care, I don't matter, was blocking me from meeting that man who would dote on me like a goddess and treat me like a goddess. So I had to actually give that up. So for every single thing you write on your I deserve and expect list, you want to ask yourself, why don't I have it yet? And the reason is definitely going to be some pattern of behavior or thinking that you learned in the past. That's why you don't have that man yet. So writing it down is the first step, but it is not the only step. So what I'm trying to do in this challenge this time around is be really real with you ladies about what it's actually going to take. Because last time I ran the challenge, people had a lot of fun. It is super fun to write down, I deserve this from a man. I expect this from a man. You almost get high thinking about what you can get. But to get that, you're going to have to give something up. What you're going to have to give up is your deeply ingrained patterns and your typical ways of being and acting that don't work. Because to get that man, you've got to be a match. So I'm going to read through some of the other ones that I have. Like, I expect him to be creative and have hobbies and interests and passions. At that time, I was only working on my business. But I wanted a man who was creative and, passionate. So what I did was I had to give up some of my time and actually started to learn how to cook. And I did it very intentionally as this creative process for myself to give myself a creative outlet. And then I was a match for him. So what are you going to give to get what you want? Do you know what you have to give? So take a look at your list. Take a look at every single thing you're saying you want in a man. And then ask yourself this question and be really real with yourself. Am I willing to give to get this? Because the man that fits what you wrote down on your paper is outside of your comfort zone, meaning this is your life. This is where you've been living it. You see this little, people do it as a circle, but I'm doing it as a box. This is your life. Your man is here. Are you hearing me? This is your life. Your man is here. And just because you write down what you deserve and expect doesn't mean the two things are going to come together. You've got to actually come out of here and go here to meet him. This is why you're not meeting him. So step 1 was declaring what you want. Step 2 is getting rid of your limiting beliefs and loving men. Step 3 is raising your standards. But that's still not enough to bridge the gap to meeting him. You've got to give something up. For some women, it's giving up their time. For some women, it's actually giving money to invest in a coaching program to find love. For some women, it's giving up their old patterns and behaviors and their limiting beliefs. But the reason you don't have him isn't because you have to go get him. It's because you've got to give a lot of things up. So actually, this list that I wrote myself, I deserve and expect, was written, the last time I edited it was July 6th, but I wrote it before. So what I want you to hear is I had to get ready. Are you ready for the kind of man that you want? Are you saying you're ready, but you haven't made your being ready yet? So I hope this is helpful for you to understand a little bit more about what it's going to take. High level love requires a lot of you, but it's so worth it. So again, if you don't know what's getting in the way of you meeting your man, if you don't know what you're going to have to give up to get him, if you don't know how to absolutely 100% make yourself into the woman who's a match, because remember, this is your comfort zone. This is the life that you've been living. This is your current life. Your man is here. Current life. Your man is here. So to get there, it's not just about saying I want it. You've been saying you wanted it forever. You declared you wanted it on Monday. What's going to bridge the gap? To bridge the gap, your man is here, your life is here. To bridge the gap, you need to know what your blocks are. Because your blocks, you try and move towards your man, and they stop you right here. So you need to know what your blocks are to clear them. You need to know what you need to give up to clear them. You need to understand what your limiting patterns are that are blocking you from being the kind of woman who can make a man treat you like a queen and commit to get here. If you don't know that, click on the link below, get on the phone with one of my coaches. They will be more than happy to help you figure it out. So you can actually get on the phone with one of my coaches and figure out what's stopping you in your love life. They'll ask you where you want to go. They'll ask you what's stopping you. And then we'll give you some recommendations for what you need to do to move forward. And here's the last thing I want to say about that. What I actually did to get him was I put myself on a very, very, very specific program. I took very specific steps and I did it intensively for 1 year. And at the end of that year, I had my man. Now I put that into a program called Get and Keep Your Man. And it's where I teach women absolutely how to become the woman who's a match for that man. If you're interested in talking to me personally about that program, go ahead and email me at nicole@loveworksmethod.com or type your information below and my assistant will set up a call. Again, this call specifically with me is if you're interested in hearing about my Get and Keep Your Man program. That's the only time I actually get on the phone with women. But if you'd like some help with your love life, if you'd like to learn your blocks, if you'd like to get a plan, you can get on the phone with one of my love coaches and they will help you absolutely for free. I hope this video has been helpful for you and I hope it opens up your mind to start thinking about what do I have to give to get that man? Your life is here. Your man is here. What do you have to give to get that man? Sending you lots of love and I'll see you here tomorrow.